Assalamu alaikum. Today, we will ponder upon an extremely important question. And that question will make this video basically the most important video I've ever made till date. That is why we need Allah. I think this concern needs to be addressed because I believe that self-improvement, a core element to self-improvement, there's the education aspect, there's the health aspect, being strong physically, there's the relationship aspect where you need good friends to be surrounded by, and the elements of environment is very important to your mental well-being, and also success in terms of monetary. But also what comes here is adding another layer, which is religion. I believe religion is absolutely important, and it maintains the boundaries that which cannot be transgressed. That is what religion does. For the longest time, sin, the fear of going to hell in all societies, is what held people from doing certain actions. And all religions is accepted. Not only Islam being one of those type of religions that are seen as extreme because, they have rules for both men and women. That is seen as extreme. But now we have other religions who have common grounds, that they have what is called sin, they have what is called as good. And if you disobey, you will go to hell. And this type of thinking led to people having boundaries, setting boundaries as not following the road to degeneracy. I believe that secularism is an absolute issue that breeds the idea of subjective righteousness, knowing that what is wrong and what is right, and that understanding that when you see something, you probably think, oh, if you've never vaped before, you're probably like, okay, well, vaping is bad. Yes, I already know. But what if you're one of those individuals who have been influenced by the media, influenced by peer pressure, because almost everybody does it? That could happen. And secularism is what is becoming more mainstream. Everything is going in a more non-religious route. This is where everything starts collapsing because there's no red lines. Because secularism holds only the subjective view, no objective view. We believe that anyone who says rules as Muslims, anyone who might say this is right, but Allah says this is wrong, then it's wrong, because you come from a subjective standpoint to when observing an action. Allah comes from an objective source when judging an action. If Allah says, okay, vaping is haram, drinking alcohol is haram, so it is. And you can look at it scientifically. Those things don't hold any good things, only bad things. Vaping has some petulant that you don't know. People in my school, they're gonna suffer one day realizing, oh, at least if you're vaping, I understand the consequences. But even that, you don't even know the consequences. I don't even encourage that. You don't even know the consequences, yet you're still doing it. You see, believing in Allah means that you have established yourself and aligned yourself through following His orders, His objective perception to certain actions that states that this is a sin and this is not a sin. And I'll tell you a little bit personally. In my area, in my school, I go to grade 11, which is secondary 5 in Canada. There's lots of vaping. You know what I'm saying? Of course, the students in there hide, but you can tell, I can see it myself. It's either in the washrooms where the teachers don't usually supervise, or it's outside after school time where we stay far away from school and they're like near that restaurant. Not restaurant, but it's called Tim Hortons. It's like a fast food place. Right near that, that's where they vape cigarettes, alcohol. Not even that far away, but far away enough that the teacher don't see them from doing these actions. Teachers don't get paid enough to be like, I'll stop you this, stop you this. Yes, if they see, they will stop, because they will be held accountable by the police. Why didn't you stop them? They will be arrested. They will be arrested too, for sure, or whatever might happen to them, maybe juvie or whatever. But to date, their parents don't know. Who lets a 16-year-old child vape? Not me. Because imagine my 16-year-old child started vaping. Like that. There's no way my 16-year-old could vape. Do some push-ups. You know what I'm saying? There's so many good things in the world. Why vape? Don't know. You're putting some stuff in your body. Now wondering, down the line, how did this happen? At least know the consequences. They don't even know. I hear people, this is a very common thing, that, because, you're gonna, not have these days back and you have to enjoy your youth, party and all this. Party is also pretty common, but this is not really talked about. But I hear this in math class always in the back, because when there's a substitute, the people, most of the time, even I don't really care. If the teacher's not there, why should I care? You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing in French class. I won't speak French if the teacher's not there. I don't speak French. I don't like French. I'm in a French place, fortunately. But regardless, they say that, okay, well, we're gonna miss out, enjoy the youth, all this stuff. Enjoy the youth. I don't have to enjoy no youth. I don't need to take pictures. I could, but I'm like, my future is gonna be so great in the future, inshallah. I will have everything all already planned. Why care about now when you have down the line the best years of your life over there? Inshallah, I will be rich. I'll be strong physically. I'll be educated. I'll make money from the comfort of my own home. Make sure you do press the subscribe button. 100 subscribers is the deal. And also, imagine this. You're probably wondering, he has all of these beautiful dreams. He's gonna make them all, which I believe truly will happen with enough dedication and effort. Probably wondering, surely he couldn't be thinking about 4 wives. Well, yeah, even 4 wives. I do believe I'll get 4 wives. Anyhow, with that being said, haram things are normalized so they don't feel haram. If I walk in anywhere in Canada and I see someone vape, it feels normal. It doesn't feel that same level of shock I used to feel when I first saw it. That's why I never ever let go of the first initial feeling, because that initial feeling probably is a signal that this is not normal. A very statistical, very factual, evident thing that I do want to point out is 1970, Pierre-Elliott Trudeau, which was Justin Trudeau's father. So now the country is under the government of Justin Trudeau. His father, 1970, decriminalized homosexuality. Haram. He did that. Alright? That's what he did. Back in 1970, right before that, all the years before, it was seen as a mental illness. It used to be a crime. It used to be a haram. Now he's like, nope, we will make this normal. And he made that as a law. You can now be homosexual without any fear of arrest, crime, or anything. And Shaitan doesn't want you to see this video. The devil does not want you to see this video. Because first, something is taboo, haram, like that. You know what I'm saying? You understand that's haram. But then, okay, you look at this stuff, it's slowly happening everywhere. You see it normalized. Everything's being normalized. That's the word. Normalized. Now it doesn't feel haram because it is refuted. Now it's halal because, or it's seen as halal, it's seen as normal now. Because it is normalized. Normalized is the word I want you to remember. Now I'll let my brother Mustafa Hussein, who is actually in collaboration with this video, this is a 2-part, he will say more educated Islamic opinions because he's more educated in that sense. He did it more improvised, but he still has like a plan in his mind.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Can you imagine life without a mentor? Can you imagine life without boundaries, without teachings, without guides? We have living examples of these so-called celebrities, these devil worshippers. All these musicians that you watch or listen to, all these celebrities, all these actors that you watch. Go and look at what they're doing. These people that you idolize, go and look what they're doing. They are openly, nothing is a secret anymore. They are openly worshipping shaitan. This is what happens when you don't have boundaries. This is what happens when you don't have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is what happens when you don't have a guide. Let's say you're studying maths, alright? And in maths, it's a technical subject, you need a teacher. Let's say you don't have a teacher. You will fail, bro. You will fail miserably. It will be the biggest disaster. just because you didn't have a teacher, and more importantly, just because you couldn't accept the fact that there is someone in this universe who is higher than you and is more learned than you and has more knowledge than you in something. Your arrogance couldn't accept that. That is the first main factor why the people, and we have our history is present. That is the reason why people couldn't accept that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one true God, because they were very arrogant. I mean, look at Abu Jahl. Why didn't he? He knew it was the truth. How did Umar ibn al-Khattab accept it, but Abu Jahl didn't? Umar ibn al-Khattab, his problem was that he saw that his tribe was being divided when Islam came, and everyone was not the same. That was his natural reason. Meanwhile, Abu Jahl, he knew clearly, he was arrogant. That is why we need Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that we can fix these complexes in our brain. And let me make this very clear, we need Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't need us. It's not the opposite. We need to worship Him for our own purification of the soul. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala clearly mentions in the Quran that if He wants, He can destroy this creation, me and you, and He can create another creation for His worship. Let that sink in. He can create another creation for His worship. He does not need us. We need Him. And if we don't accept that we need Him, we will be like the absolute losers of this generation and of the previous generations. You know, it's high time you start realizing the significance and the severity of the situation. And when you realize that you need Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you will naturally start having tawakkul on Him. Because you know that for every single, I would say, hurdle in your life, you know that you can count on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah says in the Quran, Kam min fiyatin qalilatin ghalabat fiyatin kasira. If you understand these words, you've won at life.